Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I'm going to sit and chat with you for a little bit. I was like, what can I do for a video? I have so many things that I want to be doing for a video, but it is now 7 o'clock and p.m. of course. And I want to sew, I want to do junk journal ribbon things. I want to do some crumb chat. I wanted to do a crumb chat, but then I was like, I have to set up an auction for the things that I finished last time. Don't have enough time. And then of course I want to finish the strip quilt. The thing that stops me with that, the thing I don't like about it is that I need to set it up, take pictures, start the, put it on eBay, start the listing and for the auction. And it just seems like a lot of work. I'm constantly overwhelmed now. So I don't do that, and I'm torn about whether or not I want to. I mean, I would like to. I think it would be nice if I put a border on each side and the top and bottom, because I have sashing in that, and I think it would be nice if I finished it with the border of that same kind of fabric, which I have some, but I'd have to piece it. I don't know. I know somebody would still bid on it as is, but I don't know. I keep creating jobs that I have to do. So then I thought, hey, I can just chat. I can chat with you guys. I fill you in on I don't know what. My life is just very mundane now. I could have gone out tonight. One of my favorite bands, a club that I like. My friends are there. And I thought about it all week, and it kind of like, I wish I could just say, you know what, guys, I'm done going out. I just don't feel like it anymore. Don't ask me. But I really feel like I should at least go out a little bit. See, it's always all or nothing with me. I didn't go out for 30 years, and then I went out for, a year and a half, 2 years, and boy, did I go out. I was out all the time. And then it kind of like slid back. And at first when I stopped going out, I kind of hated that I wasn't there because I feel like I'm missing out on things, but I just didn't feel like going. It was, coming to a point where, I don't know, there wasn't as many people in the bars, and, and I knew Joe, he would get tired sometimes, and it just was so much easier to just stay home, not have to get ready, not have to do all that work to get ready and go out. And it's just nice to stay home and watch a crazy ass movie that, we both like these campy old movies. And so then I started to like staying home too much, and then I started feeling guilty that I'm staying home. I was being told to charge the battery pack, so I don't know if you just heard everything that you didn't need to hear. But I was just saying that I really don't care to go out now. And this week, the past week and a half ago is when the water pipe burst, and so for a whole week I didn't have my setup, and I still don't. I mean, I have enough setup that I can do some things, but I, like I said, I would have liked to have done a crumb chat, but I was like, I'm not even ready for that. I gotta find these things, and I gotta, where's that, and where's the crumbs, and so I'll get there little by little. And but what else was I going to say? Yeah, so I'm home. I'm home because I just think it's easier to be home. And I like to go to bed early now. I like to get up early. It's just a different me. And, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know why I and others worry about a change from the norm. I don't think anything's normal or everything's normal. Was it normal for me to stay in for 30 years? It was, I think. Was it normal for me to break free after my mother died and do all kinds of things? I think that was normal. But it's not everybody's normal. But it's my normal, and it's my way that I do things. I do it big, and then I probably don't do it at all. And I went out and really got my fill. I had so much fun, and the fun just started changing. Like I think I was saying when I got the battery warning, there was a period that people weren't going out as much. And, you know, I could go out alone when I first started going out and almost always find a place that's filled with people and women dancing, and I had fun. Now it was just starting to slow down a little bit, and you know, Joe and I were together, and then we weren't, and then we were, and you know, right now I'm just at a good place where I just like to be home with him and Rocket, of course. And you know, we work together. Like, he's been sorting fabric today. I was cutting, he was sorting, and you know, it's just nice. It just feels good. It feels cozy, and I get to cook for him. And even though we cook different things, I cook different things for him. And then I just filled my belly with hamburger patties. I'm on a hamburger patty spree right now because, again, it sometimes gets tiring to buy beef. I do get a good price on beef. I have a market that I go to now that I can usually get beef $3.99 a pound, one certain cut almost every week. Not every week. They didn't have anything this week, so I said, oh, I'm going to go buy a box of hamburger patties. There was a time in Maine that I went 4 months. This isn't 4 months of just hamburger patties. For 4 months, I never got tired of it. And I thought, I'm going to do that. So I've been eating hamburger patties. I did have a can of sardines today, too, though. So yes, I'm still carnivore. And anyway, it's just been a nice day, busy day. We went to a meeting this afternoon at noon, a new meeting that I haven't been to yet, and I love it, and I'm comfortable enough to go alone if Joe doesn't want to go. And I did go alone one day. We just started going like a week and a half ago. He used to go a long time ago. So I just, you know, things are just nice. I'm just quite... My phone that did that? Or no, I think it's my hard drive. I don't know. It made a noise. Speaking of noise, I don't know why it cracks me up so much. It's because I was so startled. And usually when I'm startled, I can be like in a rage, but it's like I instantly knew that it wasn't like intentional to startle me, and it cracked me up, and I could not stop laughing. I got up at some point in the middle of the night. I mean, it was pitch black, and we don't have like a night light or anything. Joe likes it to be completely dark, but sometimes just the light or the moon or whatever can go through the blinds a little bit. So, you know, it doesn't take much. I know my way. But like I said, we sleep in the living room, and I sleep on the wall that's like by the sliding glass doors. So I have to get up and walk across, not across, but at the end of the bed. And then I end up going by Joe, and then I take the little path to the hallway, to the bathroom, and then I come back. I'm being so quiet, and you know, there's carpeting, so I'm not making any noise. I'm barefoot, you know, and I'm just creeping along slowly, and then I know, like, when I get to the bed, I know I can touch, and then I know when I'm at the end of the bed, so I can make the turn wide enough that I don't hit my leg on that sharp-ass fucking thing that holds, I can't even think what it's called, you know, at the end of the bed. You know, there's a foot at the... What is it called? The leg of the bed? I don't know. But I'll not turn... many times I don't turn... I turn too quick and I hit that and it fucking hurts. That was a weird explanation. Bedpost? Is that what it is? I get up by Joe, and I can't do it like he did it because there's a neighbor upstairs. He screams at the top of his lungs, "Are you up?" And I knew right away that was his sleepy voice, but he says it. Now, I didn't see him at all. I don't know if his eyes were opened or whatever, but he screamed, "Are you up?" so loud, and of course it made me jump. I thought like a plane was crashing on the apartment. It was so loud, and I was startled. I was like in shock. What is this noise? And then the next thing that pops into my mind, it seems like I had enough time to have all these thoughts, is that somebody else was in the apartment, like right next to me. And then it dawns on me, it's Joe. And I'm like, what the fuck, Joe? I mean, I'm like, you scared me. He's not saying anything back, so I know he's asleep. He fucking scared the shit out of me. I was like, I just wish that could have somehow been recorded, because it was so loud, and I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I'm like right near him. Usually when he talks in his sleep, it's so soft and soft-spoken and so sweet, and he fucking yells at the top of his lungs. So I went to bed. I did tell him I'm up. Yes, I'm up and I'm wide awake now. I ended up falling back to sleep. So I talked to him about it today. He doesn't remember that he yelled like that, but he said he did have a dream. So what I'm thinking is, when I got up, you know, he was aware that I was up or whatever, and that probably made him have a little dream that he knew I was up, but he didn't know where I was. So I think that's why he screamed. I think in his dream, he probably thought I was far away, and he wanted me to hear him. It's lucky that I didn't have a bat in my hand or something. Oh, he makes me laugh so much when he's in those, it could either be a sugar issue, or it can just be, I think some of his meds make him dream. It entertains me to no end. Oh, so there was that, and I don't even know if Rocket had any kind of reaction, because it was pitch black. Oh my God. So that was fun, and I don't know why it struck me that funny, because normally I don't. But like I said, if somebody knows that I don't like to be startled and they on purpose startle me, I don't like that. That would be a boundary. It was a boundary with a friend. I think I told this story probably a couple of times over the years on YouTube. But I had a friend, a girlfriend, and she knew I didn't like to be startled. So it was fun for her to startle me. And now I look back at that, and there's, to me, something wrong with that. There's no reason to startle somebody and think it's funny when you know the other person just doesn't like it and has talked to you about it and said, look, I can go in a rage, and I just don't want that. I don't like that feeling, so please don't just startle me like that. And we had gone to a store, and I needed to just run in the store and run out, and I parked like right in front of the store, so I'm not in a parking space, and I'm a little nervous about that, but I just want to run in, and as I got to the front of my Jeep, it was my Jeep, it's kind of tall, and that she lays on the horn, and I seriously thought it was something like an 18-wheeler was running into me. She laid on the horn, let it blow. I was so furious when I came to. My head was killing me, and I could not believe that she did that. And she was in the Jeep and was laughing, and then she goes, oh. It was funny. This is back in email days, no cell phones or anything like that. And I remember I did not reply to her emails for a week. I couldn't bring myself to even speak to her. And I eventually came around, but I did not ever tell her after that that was wrong. I mean, that was like It was awful. I ended up not being friends with her a little while later, and it's not the friend you're thinking of. But I do have a story about that. If for those of you from way back, it's not my neighbor friend. Hang on, I need a sip of decaf. My childhood friend. But I do have, you know, something that I've always wanted to talk about that, and maybe I will. Story time. You know, when I said I didn't have friends while I was sober, I didn't, and it was really by choice. There were some friends that I knew were just drinking buddies that, you know, lost its flavor and didn't need them. And then the other friends were friends that I had for a long time, and I still knew there were things, looking back, that I didn't have self-confidence then at all, and I was just grateful to have anyone who would hang out with me. But when I was sober, it was different. I was able to see clearly now, and I was able to say, you know, those things that kind of bugged me about that person, there's a reason, because they're not that nice to me sometimes. And I left them. I left the friends that weren't making me feel good about myself. Easy as that. And now I'm able to do that with guys too. Because I could stay with the biggest asshole in the world, because my thing was that nobody's going to love me. My mother always said that. Nobody's going to love you. And I thought, if I can't even have a shit-ass guy like me, then what? I mean, it's like, you know, I just need to stay with this guy. So I used to be very, very hurt if a guy wanted to break up. I'm talking about like in my 20s. So it was hard. It was hard for me. But my most proudest was, you know, my summer fling, when Joe and I weren't together. I am so proud of that. I'm so glad that I got to experience that I played along and got to meet someone, and it was fun to just analyze the things. And I knew he wasn't my forever man, but I did try and tried, give it some time. Maybe things can change. Maybe my feelings can change. And yeah, it didn't. Because you know the little story about, you know, I don't know, I'm not going to go back into all of that. I did not shed one tear. I am the one who made the move, and I was so glad, and I felt so liberated after I did that. And it was a really a good experience for me, and Joe knows that, and I tell him, I said, you know, if not for that, I don't know if you and I would be together, because it just opened my eyes in so many ways. And anyway, so right now, knock on wood, Joe and I are good. That can change at any time, and I know that. And but you know, on his meds, he's pretty steady, and we don't have anything weird other than stuff that he might say to me in the middle of the night, you know, or scream at me. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? I don't know. I'm just a little overwhelmed with all the jobs that I have in my head that I want to do. You know, it's funny, I can feel like a failure instantly, because I can come up with 30 different ideas and then feel like a failure that I can't do those. But I'm not a stupid woman, I'm a smart woman. And I know that it's not possible to do all those things. I need to find a happy medium. I can allow myself to have all these ideas and write them down. But that's what I used to do. Let's see, and I don't have it on my new schedule. I lost a program during an update of whatever, Microsoft update or something. And I don't even want you guys to see all the stuff that's on here. I'm going to show you quickly. That's the back of my schedule. My schedules look like this. And I cross things off, all the things that I'm supposed to do. I have add-ons on the bottom. You know? And I have this, which is all my video ideas. And can't possibly do that many. And I've had those on a list for, well, 10 years, ever since I started YouTube. But before that, the list had other things that I needed to do for my other businesses, the couponing and all that stuff. And I actually want to type all of that shit onto my new lists because I had to do a whole new list. Looks similar, but I had to redo it, and I'm blank here. I'm lost if that's blank, so I gotta type all. Let me read a couple of those things. Let me read a couple of those things. The first thing I wanted to attempt, and I've been trying to attempt it, and I've still never accomplished it, the SFV, short fucking video. For real, that's what I have on there, SFV, and I know what that stands for in my head because I made it up. I mean, I can do shorts, but that's just little clips of my videos, and yeah. Shit series, remember that? I actually did that, and I don't necessarily take them off. It was like, can I paint this shit? Can I glue this shit? Can I crochet this shit? That was a fun little series. Quilt block party, I did that one. I completed that one. Doodle lessons, I never did a doodle lesson. I don't even do my doodles anymore. Ripped fabric, I don't even remember putting that on there, but that's one of the things that's on my to-do. That's just a little piece of paper on my desk. When I did the mosaic fabric strip, and I showed you guys, you know, how I ripped, well, I didn't show you how I ripped, but I ripped some strips of muslin, one strip of muslin, and I thought I should rip some strips for people who want to do fabric ribbon. So I think I might be doing that and selling it. Of course, in my exclusive sales first, and then on eBay. I'm glad I'm looking at this. Distressed jeans. I wanted to show you guys like how to cut certain threads and pull them out to distress the jeans without it being a big hole, but you still got the, you know, the white threads going across. Sew from patterns. I wanted to do that. Bookcase quilt. It looks like a bookcase, like the books. I mean, there's a lot of things here. A lot of things. Glue gun crafts. An aquarium. Was I on something? Why would I want to do anything to do with an aquarium? I don't even know what that could be. It certainly wasn't that I wanted fish in an aquarium. I don't need anything to clean like that. It might have had something to do with sewing. I don't know. I don't know. I know what that was. That's in my ASMR days, because I have an ASMR channel. I wanted to find videos that I could legally use, that they give the license that we can use it. I wanted to find something about an aquarium, and then you can get sounds also free to use. I miss my ASMR channel. Anyway, tote bag from a panel. Mosaic can. That's a long time ago, and I always have loved mosaic, always. But I think what I meant there was probably either using paper scraps or fabric scraps. I think maybe I wanted paper scraps and just showing, you know, you can cut paper scraps from magazines or whatever and then just glue that all in a can. I love stuff like that. All right, you guys. I know you can't tell me to get with it, but you know what? You can. I'm going to mention it again because I forget to mention it. You can become a free member in my Patreon, and you can message me. You can do that. And if I post in there, you can reply to it. And I don't post in there enough because I'm busy. But you can do that. I have something like 540, 536, right around there, free members in Patreon now. So I really need to do something about that. That's a nice little chunk. So go to my Patreon, link is in the description, and you can become a free member. You don't pay. I'm sure they probably send something out once in a while, or I even can. I even can do like a thing to say, for 1 week only, half price membership. I don't usually get involved in that stuff. It's like, I'm not big at that. If people want to be part of my circle, they're going to be part of my circle. I don't want to force anybody to do that. But I do need to show more often what is in my exclusive sales, because then if somebody sees what they like, they may bump up and become a paid member, which I'm not going to complain about, but I want them to do it because they see stuff and they would like to be part of that. All right, so go become a free member, subscribe to this channel. You can do that, right? I don't give a shit about thumbs up. Means nothing. It's not anything that's going to help me earn money. I certainly don't care about comments, you know that. But I mean, like on YouTube, it's different inside Patreon. It's quiet, you know. So anyway, go do that, and the next video I hope is something that I need to finish up. Right? Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more soon. Bye.